Hi students, how have you been? Hope you all are healthy and safe at home. Welcome to today's class. We discussed digital footprints in the last class. Today we will discuss on the topic net and communication etiquettes. Let's start today's class. Net and communication etiquettes. Here we are starting with the word netiquettes. What is this netiquettes? That is short for internet etiquettes. Then what is this etiquettes? Do you know about this? This etiquettes, that means polite behavior in the society. So we can define this netiquette is a code of good behavior on the internet. This includes several aspects of the internet such as email, social media, online chat, web forums, website comments, multiplayer gaming and other types of online communication. How to behave on the internet in a good way. That is this netiquette, good behavior on the internet. Okay. Which all guidelines we have to identify to behave good way on the internet. While there is no official list of netiquette rules or guidelines, the general idea is to respect others online. Below are 10 examples of rules to follow for good netiquettes. First one, avoid posting inflammatory or offensive comments online. Post positive comments. Respect others' privacy. That is very important. How can we respect others' privacy? By not sharing personal information, photos or videos that another person may not want published online. Okay. Then never spam others by sending large amount of unsolicited emails. Show good sportsmanship when playing online games, whether you win or lose. Don't troll people in web forums or website comments by repeatedly nagging or annoying them. Stick to the topic when posting in online forums or when commenting on photos or videos such as YouTube or Facebook comments. Don't swear or use offensive language. Always use good language. Avoid replying to negative comments with more negative comments. Instead, break the cycle with a positive post. If someone asks a question and you know the answer, then offer to help. Thank others who help you online. These are some guidelines to behave in a good way. Okay. Then some guidelines we have to follow in emails. The following are some important email etiquette that everyone needs to be aware of and follow. First one, be concise and to the point. Do not make an email longer than it needs to be. A long email can be very discouraging to read. Second one, use proper spelling, grammar and punctuations. You know about that. Always use proper spelling, grammar and punctuation. Improper spelling, grammar and punctuation give a bad impression. Use proper structure and layout. We know that we are reading from a screen. That is more difficult than reading from a paper. So the structure and layout is very important for email messages. Use short paragraphs and blank lines between each paragraph. Fourth one, do not write in capitals. Case sensitivity. If you write in capitals, it seems as if you are shouting. This can be highly annoying and might trigger an unwanted response. So, try not to send any email text in capitals. Add an email disclaimer. Disclaimers in your internal and external mails can help protect you from liability if you unknowingly forwarded a virus by email. Then sixth one, handle abbreviations and emotions with care. Seventh one, gender sensitivity. If you are writing to a person unknown to you, your email should be gender neutral. You should carefully not write or replace the gendered nouns with a gender neutral nouns. Okay, instead of man or woman, you can use person or individual. Okay, clear? So these are all rules, not rules. These all are some guidelines to follow in this email. Okay, clear? Then next one, ethical issues. Information is the means to acquire knowledge. We know about this. There are many ethical issues involved with the usage and availability of information. Some common ethical issues are: first one, intellectual property rights. Second one, digital property rights. Third one, plagiarism. Okay, clear? Then first one, intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights are the rights of the owner of information to decide how much information is to be exchanged, shared or distributed. Also, it gives the owner a right to decide the price for doing, exchanging, sharing, distributing so. The ethical issue involved with it is that information must not be exchanged without the consent of its owner. The intellectual property rights must be protected for it. First one, encourages individuals and businesses to create new software and new software applications as well as improving existing applications. Second one, ensures new ideas and technologies are widely distributed. Third one, promotes investment in the national economy. Okay. The next one, digital property rights. Digital property or digital assets refers to any information about you or created by you that exists in digital form, either online or on an electronic storage device. That is the digital property rights. The next one, plagiarism. Plagiarism is stealing someone else's intellectual work and representing it as your own work without citing the source of information. That is plagiarism. Any of the following acts would be termed as plagiarism. First one, using some other author's work without giving credit to the author. Using someone else's work in incorrect form than intended originally by the author or creator. Modifying or lifting someone's production without attributing it to the creator of the work. Giving incorrect source of information. Failure in giving credit or acknowledging the contribution of others in a collaborative effort, to which you are also part of. These are the acts that would be termed as plagiarism. It can be classified as accidental or unintentional, deliberate or intentional. Accidental or unintentional plagiarism cases are less serious, but in this deliberate or intentional plagiarism may result in serious implications. Accidental or unintentional plagiarism involves careless paraphrasing, changing the words or sentence construction of a copied document, quoting text excessively along with poor documentation. Then accidental plagiarism cases are less serious. Then deliberate or intentional plagiarism includes copying someone else's work, cutting and pasting blocks of text or any kind of information from electronic sources without the permission of the original author. That may result in serious implications. Okay. Then how to avoid plagiarism? Plagiarism should be avoided by the following simple measures. Use your own ideas and words. Always provide a reference or give credit to the source from where you have received information. Cite the name of the website, a URL, or the name of authors and acknowledge them if you have used their work after rearranging the order of a sentence and changing some of the work. Take the information in the form of bulleted notes in your words. Use online tools to check for plagiarism. Develop your writing skills. In this way, we can avoid the plagiarism. Okay, clear? These all are very interesting and easy topics. Okay. Okay students, these topics are not for the purpose of by heart, but to identify, analyze and act accordingly. The notes and test paper are attached for the academic purpose. Study the notes and submit your answers as soon as possible. These all are very important. So many legal issues we have to face while using this online works or anything, that is chat, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything is included in this. So use in a proper way. Always keep good manners in this online work. That's all for today. We will meet in the next class. Till then, take care. Thank you.